Two. Woo! All right, so the topic for today is confidence. I'm here with Nadia, Sophia, Nora, and Turdy. And myself, of course, Kathy. All right, so just to give you a little bit background before we start, so of the definition of what confidence really means. So confidence, I would say personally, is two parts. There's two parts of confidence. So I'll just read both definition. The first part is the feeling or belief that one can rely on someone or something from trust. So I would say that that's confidence in God. So having confidence in someone greater than yourself. And the second part will be a feeling of self-assurance arising from one's appreciation of one's own abilities or qualities. So that would be having self-confidence in yourself, in the abilities and qualities that you have within yourself. All right, that's okay, guys?
Yeah.
All right, so we're just gonna dive in straight to the questions. All right, on a scale of 1 to 10, where's your confidence level in God, and what's your level of confidence in yourself?
I'd say my confidence level in God is, I want to say a 10.
Okay.
Just based on past experiences and just the building of faith through time and relationship. Obviously, there's nothing he can't do, and time after time, he's proved that. Confidence in myself, I would say like a 6.
Okay.
Because I do doubt myself sometimes, and I do let a lot of fear control what I choose to try or not try, and the opinions people might have of me if I decide to go after something. So I'd say 6 for myself.
Okay.
I would say my confidence level in God would probably be about a 9.5, just because I feel like I do have some ways to go in my walk with him. I'm not saying that like it's non-existent or anything, but like I still feel like I'm not where I should be, and that kind of reflects in my confidence in him. And for myself, I'd say about a 6. Just because sometimes I do doubt my abilities and if I can actually do something.
So my confidence in God is probably like the same as Nadia's. I'm probably like a 9.5 just because I feel like I'm still not there yet. Like God's been teaching me and showing me some stuff. So I feel like I still have like a ways to go just because like I'm pretty like quiet and pretty like self-reserved. So like just to like actually like that boldness, like that confidence in God just needs to like grow a little bit more. And then in myself, I'm probably like a 6.
Okay.
Ish, just because I'm still growing in that too.
Okay. Laura?
For my confidence in God, I would say I am a 10, going based off what Trudy said as well. Through personal experiences and certain things I've gone through in my life, God has proven to me that he will always be there and never forsake me. So just that alone, I can say 100%. I know that I have complete confidence in God and I trust him 100% as well. And for my confidence in myself, for my confidence in myself, I would probably give myself about like a 7 or 8. Just because it's just the way I am, like, if I want to try something, most of the times I don't think like, oh, like, how am I going to do this? Or like, what skills do I need? I just do it. I just try it. Like, why not? Like, just give it a shot. And then through that, if I like fail, okay, like if I want to continue doing this, I'll just keep doing it over and over again until I see like I'm improving. If not, just cut it.
For myself, my level in God, I would say it's a 9, just because like in the season, in general, I've been praying a lot more. I've been finding myself more in God's presence. So the more you spend time with God, the more obviously your level of confidence and trust and belief will, arise, and then your self-doubt will come down. My level of confidence in myself, I would say 6.57, just because there's certain things I'm confident in, and I know like nobody can touch me or beat me on it. Can't touch me. But there's certain things I'm still struggling with, so that's where my level of confidence is. The second question for tonight will be: so have you ever struggled in the past or present with being self-confident?
Yes, for sure, in the past. And I found it was because I put my self-confidence more in people, just because I didn't really know God for myself.
Yeah.
So when those people left, they took their self-confidence, like my self-confidence with them. And I think now as I learn to depend on God more, I trust or put my self-confidence less in people and more in God. And God is not going anywhere, so my self-confidence is not going anywhere. And it's just building and it's growing as I grow more in God.
And that kind of like links with like identity.
Right.
If you let somebody have your identity, your self-confidence, like, and they leave with it, it's like, okay, well,
Give up with nothing.
yeah, you look for nothing.
Exactly.
But if your identity is always in God, then your self-confidence, your confidence is always in God.
Yeah.
Anybody else struggled?
I know for me, I have struggled just because I had like no self-confidence like as a kid, like growing up, just because I was bullied a lot and like put down. Like even like my ideas or like what I wanted to be, people were like, no, like since you're a kid, like you don't really know like what you want to do and stuff like that. So I feel like I didn't really have self-confidence until like high school. And I was kind of like, before I was kind of in the shadow of like my siblings or whatever, like everyone knew me because of my brother, my older brother. They'd be like, oh, you're Mark's little sister. So like until like he was done high school, then I started like having my own identity kind of. So I feel like until I had to like stand by myself, that I lacked that self-confidence. And like even until I reached like 18, like around there, then that was when I like stopped like caring what people think or what they say. Like you have to like go, like you have to do it for yourself. Like you have to believe in yourself for you. So
for me, it was definitely before high school and like the merge between like elementary and junior high. I grew up in a really white school. Great school, amazing school, loved it, but then we merged to like black school and had like an identity crisis because I'm mixed, but I'm very light skinned for being a mixed person. And it was like, I don't know, just a battle between like trying to be accepted and trying to be black enough and trying to be like cool enough. And it was just like a mess of just trying to do things that people would think were cool or were whatever. Also at the beginning of high school, like mid high school, I had like horrible acne, and like I would not even want to talk to people. I couldn't look you in the eye. I was just like, do not look at me. Like it was horrible. So when I started wearing makeup, but I had said it before, like I feel like there's that stage, especially as a girl between 12 and like 15, 16, where you're just kind of just trying to find yourself. And you just get to a point where you don't care about pleasing people anymore and you totally accept yourself for who you are and you're totally fine with it. Like, I hated my complexion. I hated that I looked so white because everyone said I should be looking more black and like, oh, you're mixed, look at you, you're so white. But then you just get to a point where it's like, yo, it doesn't matter. Like, it actually doesn't matter. And like, I think it's something that sometimes you grow out of, sometimes you don't, and it's unfortunate if you don't. But it was, definitely that stage between like 11 and 15 where it was just like, do not look at me. Please.
Yeah, I find that we all do struggle, whether it's early on or now. Some people are still struggling from when they're younger till now. It's just, you need to get to a point where you need to decide, are you going to get over it? Are you going to give it to God, surrender, give your everything to Him, and then just move on? Because you don't want to let it have a hold on you and then not be able to do certain things because you're struggling with it, So wherever you are, pray, kneel down, or ask advice, counseling, anything. How did you build your self-confidence?
So for me personally, I didn't start to gain self-confidence pretty much until I started college. So the course that I'm in is like, if you don't take yourself seriously, like if you don't believe in what you're saying, if you have no confidence, then other people aren't going to trust you, like with their choices, because they're depending on you. I'm in interior decorating, just to give you background. So like they're trusting you to like pretty much like make their house a home. So like if you don't know what you're saying, like if you don't believe in yourself, they're not going to like put their trust in you. So like pretty much from that, like it carried over to my job and to like my walk with God. Like there's some things like I can't do like by myself.
Yeah.
So I just have to be like, okay, God, you're just gonna have to like pull me through it. So
Yeah.
I think, I don't think I necessarily did this. I think being forced into doing things, especially at church, like made you get confidence. Like I got forced into the choir, forced onto the praise team. Like I did not want to be in the choir at all, even though I sing. Like everybody knows that. I just didn't want to be in front of people to this day. Like if I cannot be in front of people, I will not be in front of people. It's just I don't necessarily like the spotlight. But I think my parents like drilled it. Like you're doing that, go do that. Like I feel like just being in a church environment, you legit get forced into doing so many things that you don't want to do, especially being in front of people and speaking. And eventually you just like make up your mind, okay, if I'm gonna do this, I might as well do it well, and you can't just grow in yourself, because I can't just be embarrassing myself every week, whatever. You just get better. But I think having that positive pressure can sometimes get you into a place where you don't have a choice but to gain confidence.
So like I would say also the scripture says faith without works is dead. So I feel like for me, as I build my confidence like with hair, I would say I'm really talented with hair. So, but the thing is, you have to put in some work. You can't just say, "Oh, this is my talent, this is my gift, I'm gonna do this." You have to actually put in a good work in the craft and the talent, the gift that God has given you. Because we each all have a different talent, gift, and whatnot that God has given to us. So it's at this point, it's your turn to take it and receive it, and then now apply it and work at it. So if it's singing, if it's doing videos, if it's making clothes, whatever it is, just keep working at it, because you can't become confident overnight. You have to just, continue working at your craft, practice, like practice makes perfect. How should a person go about building their confidence in God? Because like the scripture says, God has given us, strength, faith. He has given us boldness. He has given us so many qualities to be strong, but how do we get that in Him?
You just have to believe that what He said about you is true, and you have to like rely on His word enough that like it's fact above everything else, above people's opinions, above anything else people might say. It's like, okay, but God said this. He said I can do all things with His strength. He said I can do this. He said I can move mountains if I have this much faith. It's just, you have to hold God's word so high that everything else matters so little. Like it does not matter at all, because God said this. And so it comes with spending time with Him, reading His word, knowing what He said about you, and believing it.
It's true.
And for sure, trusting Him and spending time with Him, like we all said before. The more time you spend with someone, the more you get to trust them. And so I feel like if you read the word, or if someone tells you that God said this about you, or God said this, you're fearfully and wonderfully made, but you don't know God, like how are you supposed to believe that? So I feel like if you spend more time with Him, you'll get to trust Him and you'll get to know Him more, and then you'll get to really accept what He has to say about you. I know that it sits higher than what anyone else has to say about you.
Just to add, going off of what both of Charity and Nadia said, the Bible talks a lot about having childlike faith, and as many of you guys know, like if you tell something to a child, they take that in, they believe it. There's a lot of times that you'll say something to a child and they'll be like, okay, like, oh, you're beautiful. It's like, okay. It's like, even just they just believe. They believe anything. They have faith in like everyone. So just going off of what they said, just believing what God tells you. It's not like God says you're fearfully, wonderfully made, and you're doubting, oh, am I like, do I really know how to do this? Am I really skilled in this? Is this really my talent? Like, what is and then we have all these question marks, but sometimes we just need to take it back a couple steps, just have childlike faith and really accept what God has spoken over our lives.
And sorry, one more thing. There are also like so many examples in the Bible of people who also had zero confidence in themselves, didn't want to do it. Where there was Gideon, he asked for like 20 like confirmation. No, I still don't believe you. Do this. And then Moses saying, I can't speak, I can't do it, and God said, don't worry, I'll give you the words. I'll send someone. So we're not the first people ever who have had issues with trying to believe God or do what He's asked us to do, or like it's happened for years and years and years, and there are so many examples in the Bible, and I think we could take a lot from those.
It's true.
And it's not gonna happen overnight. it's something that you do have to be consistent with. It doesn't take a day to know someone. Sometimes it takes years, and you just have to have the faith and the patience to know that, and expect that one day you will find your confidence in God.
We're just gonna close it off here, but before we leave, I just want us to give the viewers pointers how to build their confidence.
Okay. Well, if you're really struggling, I think you could just ask God for confidence. Honestly, like He's not trying to
Not give it to you.
It's free.
So he doesn't want you to struggle. Like He doesn't want you to be down on yourself. Like you need, in order to do His will, you need to be confident, because you're gonna have to go to people. You're gonna have to speak to them. Like He wants to give you that confidence. So you could just ask for it.
Amen.
I was gonna say 2 things. One, surround yourself with confident people.
That's right.
Really good.
Yeah.
Your immediate friend group is a huge reflection of who you are a lot of the time. Not always, obviously. But if you're always around bitter people, negative people, people who don't necessarily want to achieve, and who are always talking extremely negatively about themselves or others, whether it's gossip, it's a toxic, poisonous environment, and it will keep everybody in that group at the same level. No one's growing when you're all oh my God, no. So if you have a positive circle where everyone's trying to build each other up, and not necessarily trying, but just an honest environment where if I see you doing something not wrong, but I'm hey, what's up? People who are genuinely concerned and interested in your well-being, and again, just a positive, confident group of people. And if you don't know anybody like that, I'm not saying everybody at church is confident, but I mean, try and connect with, whether it's a youth group or a church or a place where that's supposed to be the common vibe. Number 2, okay, I was gonna say, another confidence booster, I think, for me is knowing my own character. If people want to talk about you regardless, it doesn't matter what you wear, what you say, how you treat them, they're going to say something anyway. And one thing for me that I'm very confident in is who I am as a person. And if people want to try and bash my character and bash my motives or intentions, many people off the bat will know it's a lie because they know who I am. And so more than trying to, look really nice or do certain things really well, I really do take pride in having integrity and having a decent reputation in terms of how I treat people. And if you're going to work on anything, I think it should be your character, your inner person, because above anything else, you can be confident in how you look, what you do. If you are rotten on the inside, it really doesn't matter. So that's what I would say.
All right. Well, thank you, girls, for being a part of this Girl Time Part 2. I hope you enjoyed it, and leave comments, any future topic you want us to talk about, or just positive comments about this video. Thumbs up, and see you next time.